loves, welcome to another girl chat. So one of you requested one of the videos that I've been posting for Vlogmas. One of you requested that I do a girl talk. It's been a while since I did a girl talk. There was a one that I did about how to prevent yourself from sleeping with a guy too soon, but that was just like one topic. So these girl talks are normally just different topics. So I decided to go on IG, Instagram, and ask you guys, what topics do you want me to cover for this particular girl chat? And you guys answered. So that is what you're getting right into. So I have the questions here on my laptop, so I'm going to be reading. So the first girl said, talk about family planning. Disclaimer: this is a medical or health issue. I'm not a medical expert, but I've used family planning, so I feel like I can talk about it. Before I started family planning, I went to, it's not a clinic, it was a hospital facility. I was taking one of my friends to go for an antenatal checkup because she was pregnant. So while there, as I was in the waiting room, I saw that they had written there that there is consultation for family planning. I had not started family planning. So I decided, let me just pay for it. It wasn't expensive that time. That was a few years ago. It was 200 shillings, Kenyan shillings. So I was like, okay, instead of sitting here, let me pay for family planning consultation. So I paid and I talked to a medical personnel who took me through all the family planning that are available in most hospitals in Kenya, one by one, showed them to me, and then now from there I decided that okay, this is what I want to start with, and I started with the daily pill, and then I switched to another one later on, so I'm going to tell you about that. But now the information that I'm sharing with you is my personal experience and the information that I was given when I paid for that consultation. So as much as I'm sharing this is just to give you a background. The best way to go about this is to go to a medical facility yourself and talk to a health worker. So background on family planning. Family planning is just a way of preventing pregnancy, okay? Planning when you want to have kids. There are two types of family planning. There is the hormonal and the non-hormonal. Family planning works in two ways majorly, okay? One is that they prevent or they stop you from ovulating. So if the egg is not released, even if you have unprotected sex, the sperm is there, the egg is not there. That means there's no fertilization, so there's no pregnancy. Another way that they work is that they make the lining of your cervix very thick and sticky to a point where now the sperm is not able to swim and get to the egg and fertilize it. So you don't get pregnant. And then there's a type of family planning whereby a physical barrier is created between the egg and the sperm, and an example is condom. Condom is a way of family planning because it prevents you from being pregnant. So because there's that barrier, then the sperms are inside the condom, they cannot get out and meet and fertilize the egg. So as I mentioned, there are two types of family planning, hormonal and non-hormonal. Hormonal means that whatever it is that is inserted in your body or whatever it is you are taking has hormones. These hormones are released into your body and they are the ones that perform this role that I've said. For example, those hormones, they can make your cervix, the lining of your cervix thicker, or those hormones prevent you from ovulating. The two main hormones are estrogen and progesterone. So you can get family planning methods that have estrogen, some have progesterone, some have both. During this consultation that I had, the most common, I'm speaking from where I am, I live in Kenya, the most common family planning methods that I was shown was one, the daily pills, the Femi plan. You take them every day for 3 weeks and then you don't take them for 1 week so that you can have your menstrual period. During that 1 week, they have, these ones, they are filled with iron, okay? They give you iron. They are different. They are actually kind of brownish, reddish, and the others are kind of yellowish. So there was the daily pill. There was the 3 months injection. There was the IUD, the hormonal. Actually, IUD, there is hormonal, which is the most common. Then there is the copper IUD, which is non-hormonal. That one does not release any hormones into your body. There's the implants. I got implants too for 3 years. There's for 3 years, there's for 5 years. So again, another disclaimer. I'm not a medical personnel, and if you mess up on this thing, you're going to get pregnant, and there's nothing as scary as unplanned pregnancy. So after listening to me, before you choose which method, please just go and talk to a medical personnel. So for me, what the gyna told me when I was speaking to him, it was a male person, they told me that the daily pills, you can take them every day, and if you stop or you skip, you can actually get pregnant, because they just release enough hormones to prevent you from being pregnant for that time, whether it's 24 hours or 48. So if you skip or if you don't take, you can get pregnant. So if you want to start, for example, if you've been on the pill and you want to now get pregnant, you can just stop and even tomorrow get pregnant. It doesn't mess with your fertility. So that's why I decided to start with the daily pill at that time. So what he told me again about the 3 months injection is that one, it takes time for most people, not everyone. It takes time for your fertility to come back, for you to regain your fertility. So for example, you may find that someone was getting the injections and then you've stopped the injections. For 1 year, 2 years, you're still not getting pregnant because you've not yet regained your fertility. You're not as fertile. As much as you're not using it, okay? He said, and this one is a personal experience. I've had it with people that I know, that they've stopped and then they didn't get pregnant immediately. It took like maybe months. So I was like, okay, that one for me was a no. The third one was the IUD, intrauterine devices. So for the IUD, he showed it to me. It had the shape of like a T, something like this, which is inserted vaginally. Okay, so what he told me about it is the fact that, no, that one is there. No, it's just there. So it's not something to take every day, which is a good thing. But what he told me is that if you have it, you're supposed to have one partner, and that one partner is not supposed to have other people. Otherwise, you will be treating infections. Because that thing is sensitive. No, it's a thing that is there. So if you're mixing things, me, I was just like, no, there's no one I trust like that with my life. At this point, I was like, IUD X. So I started with the daily pills. So when I was on the daily pills, I used to put an alarm so I don't miss it. Because you're supposed to take it, ideally for it to be effective, you're supposed to take it every day at the same time. After a while, I don't know if it was a year or what, I was like, you know what, I'm tired of this thing. Every day, alarm. So I was like, let me look for a permanent solution. Not at a permanent, long term, something that is just there. So that is when I went for the implant. They put it on your arm. So I had it here for 3 years. This for 3 years and for 5 years. That one showed me wahala shege. My body did not adjust to it. I used to bleed so much for up to maybe 3 weeks in a month. So it's only 1 week that I'm not on my periods. I was just like, Lord, no. After a while, I got it removed. I actually documented it here. I vlogged when I was going to the hospital and they cut it out and they removed it. All these family planning methods, because most of them are hormonal, they can make changes on your body because they are hormones being pumped into your body. They can make you lose weight. They can make you add weight. They can make you bleed more. They can make you have your hormonal imbalance. They can change your mood. They have so many side effects. So you find that maybe some don't give you as much side effects as others. But there's no, I don't think there's one that you can just be like, oh, it's just easy breezy. There's always just a 1 or 2 things that they do. Some will even give you nausea. Unasikia tu kutapika all the time. If your woman is on family planning, please be supportive because she's the one bearing the brunt of all these, so you too can plan your family. There are also 2 other types of family planning that I think if they're in Kenya, they're not in most hospitals. Maybe the big ones, the big private ones. I've just heard of them. When I was doing this consultation, I never saw them. They were not there. So I don't know much about them except what I've seen online. So one is the patch. Apparently, it's just put on a certain part of your body and then it releases the hormones into your bloodstream. I found that very interesting. I don't know, but I don't have much experience with it. The next one is the vaginal rings. I never knew these things exist. But I saw a YouTuber, and I recorded it and showed it on Instagram, and then I did. I don't know why. I can't even remember. There was a YouTuber who actually showed it. She opened, she got her own. I don't remember her name. She just got it. It was like a ring, and then she was trying to explain that you insert. I was like, so apparently this one you insert for 3 weeks, and then you remove it. So you can have your periods that 4th week, and then after your periods again, you... I don't know much about them, these 2. So depending on which facility you go, they may or may not be there. So the non-hormonal that I know that are common in Kenya is just condoms, and then the copper IUD. IUD, but copper one. I have heard, I cannot verify because I've not been there, but I have heard from other people that marriage stops in Kenya, they are able to do tests. You know, there's a way they can do tests. I don't know whether it's from checking a blood or something, but they are able to do tests to determine which of these family planning methods will be the easiest for you, like will give you less side effects. And I told myself, if I'm to get on family planning again, right now I'm not on any. Oh my goodness, I feel so good. I feel so good. Like my periods came back to 3 days, 3 to 4 days. I was like, Lord, from 3 weeks, I feel so good. I don't even know who it is that will ever make me go through such torture again. But I'm not in any relationship, so that explains it. So if I get into a relationship, maybe long term, maybe I might consider again. So if I'm to go the family planning method again, I told myself that maybe I'll visit Marie Stops, so I can see if they really do that. Then instead of me just doing trial and error, doing this, removing, then I'll just know that, okay, this may be the best for you. After you've consulted a medical personnel, then also check your lifestyle in terms of your sexual life. How often do you have sex? For example, if you're in a long distance relationship or marriage and your partner comes once a year or twice a year, why would you torture yourself with all this family planning when you're not actually having sex? Maybe what you can do is before they come, then you get on one, maybe 2 weeks before they come. And then after they leave, you are free, So, and then the reason why I'm talking about talking to a medical personnel, I know this one, I've stayed on this for a long time, but this is an issue that affects a lot of women. And I didn't just want to just like give just shallow points here and there. That's why I'm going in depth, so bear with me. The reason why I'm also telling you to talk to a medical practitioner is that all these methods, there's a way they're supposed to be done. For example, I've mentioned the daily pill, you're supposed to swallow it at the same time. But then that thing is not bitter. That thing is very small like this. At the same time. So don't just pick something and you don't even know how it's being used. And I was, again, on the daily pill, I was told it works in 2 ways. The best time to start it is after your periods. After your periods, even if you swallow it today, you start today. By tomorrow, if you have unprotected sex, you will not get pregnant. But if you start it any other time of your cycle, like not immediately after your periods, then it takes 7 days for you to be effective. So the first 1 week, you are not safe as much as you're on the pill. Okay? So you see, you're supposed to know how to use the particular family planning method that you've picked. So as I was saying, look at how often you're having sex. If maybe you're not in a committed relationship and you're having sex just here and there, once in 3 months, maybe once in 4 months, and you're not really with that, it's someone that you're not exclusive, but you say, I can trust this person, we're going to get tested and have unprotected sex, then maybe condoms may be the best thing for you. That one time in 2 months with that person who maybe is not your boyfriend, condoms are enough. You don't need to put these into your body because they're not fun. We just do it because we have no option. We'll continue to have this conversation. So for now, I think I've exhausted the topic of family planning. Let's go to another question or topic. This girl says, self-love and self-awareness, because I am struggling with that. These are two. Self-love and self-awareness. Self-love. Let's start with self-love because they're related, but they're different things. Self-love, the first thing I can tell you is to do radical acceptance. Radical acceptance of yourself. Accepting yourself as you are. Not until loving. I'm not even getting to loving yourself. Accepting yourself as you are. No, as you wish you will be or how you think you need to be. As you are. I, as Linda here, I am a tall, 5'6", dark-skinned babes. You, as you are, whether you are short, you are light-skinned, you are chocolate, you are petite, you are thick, you have a stomach, you don't, you have big breasts, small breasts, you have small nyash, big nyash, as you are, You're like, okay, this is me, looking at myself in the mirror. Yeah, this is me. No delusion here. Then, I am a big advocate for self-improvement. So I always say, if there's something you can improve on that will not endanger your life, please improve on it. For example, if you know that maybe some of your teeth are yellow and it's bothering you to a point where you don't even want to smile, I'm not going to say just accept that your teeth are yellow, because that's something that now with the world we lived in, we are so lucky that there's something you can actually do about it. Find out what you can do about it, save up for it, do some whitening or whatever it is that you want to do, okay, to improve, because that will also boost your confidence and will make you love your body more. And you'll be able to smile more. The next thing is that now we have things that you cannot change, but you've accepted yourself, and now things that you're going to improve on. Just change your mindset, especially around the things that you cannot change. One of the things that used to bother me, which people didn't know, because I never used to talk about it, was my height. I used to feel like I'm so tall, especially when I go somewhere and a lot of people are short, and then you keep saying, Aki, you're so tall, Aki, you're so tall. I used to feel like, my God. And even when I was dating men, I was just like, if I'm taller than a guy, I'm just like, So sometimes I feel like, I don't want to wear high heels because now I'm already tall, and I'm taller than everyone. It bothered me. Until one day I looked at myself and I was like, Linda, if you were not this tall, and imagine I'm 5'6", I'm speaking as if I'm 6 feet tall. I was like, if you were not this tall, you would not look like this. You look different. Because for me, I was just like, if I was just like maybe 2 inches shorter, just 2, not at extremely short. But I'm like, if you were 2 inches shorter, you will not look the way you look now. Everything on your body will change. Everything is going to be different. For you, you're just like, no, I'm okay, I like this, but if I change this one, if you change that one thing, most likely your entire body is going to look different. And I was like, my height looks so good with my body the way it is. Like, and that realization just gave me peace. And now I'm just like, am I loving my height or what? I don't know. That kind of mindset shit. I was just like, it is proportionate to my body. If I change, my body will be different. It will not be like this. I was like, now I like my height. Wow. There's a video that I did when I started YouTube. I don't know if it was my second or third video. Among the first videos that I did. Because when I started, I used to talk about self-development. I never used to vlog. So I talked about how to love your body. And I said one of the things you can do to love your body is to think of the purpose that your body serves. That part of your body. Not maybe it's cute, maybe it's not. For example, your legs. Maybe you don't like your legs. They're not that straight. Maybe you're bow-legged. But your legs help you to walk. Your legs help you to get from point A to point B. Some people don't have legs. They just wish they had legs. Not cute legs. Not straight, snow legs. Just legs. So if you think of the purpose that your legs, that part of your body performs, you are more appreciative of it. Sometimes when something happens, for example, I've had a rough day, I'm always like, thank you to my body. Thank you to my body for carrying me through. Thank you to my arms for helping me do this job. Thank you to my legs for helping me walk around and run around and do errands and whatever. So sometimes you just need to have a mindset shift. Another thing you can do to love yourself, self-love, is to audit your qualities. You know, sometimes you don't even look at our qualities because maybe you're just focused on that thing that you don't have or that thing that you don't like. But you have so many good things about you, and sometimes you may not even realize. But just look at what people say about you, people who know you, people around you, what they say about you. That helps a lot. That's why sometimes I always tell people that if you're able to give someone a compliment, don't hold back. That compliment might brighten someone's day, but it might also help them also to improve their self-love. Or one day when they're feeling down, they remember, oh, someone told me that I have a nice smile. I get excited when I'm going to events and I get anxious. So there was a time I was just like, I have this event, I don't know what I'm going to wear. What if I don't like, what if I just dress poorly and do ni. And my friend that I was talking to, she was like, oh my goodness, Linda, the way you normally have nice dresses. You are not worried when it comes to that. You know how to dress well. And then I remember there's a video that I had uploaded on Instagram, a reel, about there's an event that I went to, and then one of you commented on Instagram that, hey Linda, but when it comes to dressing up for events, that one you've mastered. You always so when I get worried if I don't look good, I just remember those. I'm like, okay. And then I tell them, I always dress well for events. So audit your qualities. And the next thing is surround yourself with people who love you. Surround yourself with people who love you, because that's also a form of self-love. If you surround yourself with people who don't love you, if you accept poor treatment, that may also be an indicator that you don't love yourself. That's why you are accepting this kind of poor. Because if you loved yourself, you would value yourself. You tell yourself, you know what? I deserve better than this. I'm going to remove myself from this situation. So surround yourself with people who love you and care about you and people who value you. So that's just on self-love. Then there's self-awareness. Self-awareness is just knowing yourself, knowing who you are. So this means you know yourself. You know how you behave, you know your characteristics, your strengths, your weaknesses. One of the ways where you can know yourself better is to be by yourself. Spend time by yourself. If you spend time with you, always around people, always with people, even if you're an extrovert, it robs you of the opportunity to know who you are. Because sometimes when you're with people, you take on their personality or their character, some of their traits. Even when sometimes with your friends, you find yourself just doing things together or doing the same things. But when you spend time by yourself, then you learn who you are at your core. So that is the first thing. Always have some time by yourself. The second thing you can do to know yourself better is to try and identify your emotions. This is something that I started doing because I used to just use general terms like, I'm feeling bad. I can escape vibaya. But what is feeling bad? So I started identifying, what am I feeling now? Am I feeling hurt? Am I feeling angry? Am I feeling disappointed? Those are 3 different emotions. You're not just feeling bad. What is feeling bad? So try to understand, what am I feeling right now? What's going on with you? There is this series that I watched, and I recommended it on Instagram. Over the weekends, I recommend movies and series because I'm a movie addict. It's called The Summer I Turned Pretty, if you watch it. So this one, there's a girl who was into this guy. But this guy was into another girl. So when she found out, she was upset. So they were having that heated conversation. And then the guy was like, I'm so sorry I hurt you. The girl was like, you didn't hurt me. You wasted my time. Those are 2 different things. Because maybe you feel like you think that you are upset, you are angry. But maybe you're not angry. Maybe you are hurt. So try to identify an emotion. After identifying an emotion, then ask yourself, why am I feeling like this? Why am I feeling hurt if I'm hurt? Maybe it's because I didn't expect the other person to do this to me. Maybe because I will not do that to the other person. So when you ask yourself these questions, you may even find yourself going back into your past, your trauma, your childhood. Why am I angry? Maybe because it reminds me of when someone used to do this to me when I was younger and I felt helpless and whatever. You try to, that is how you know who you are and why you are behaving the way you are behaving. Try to also figure out, why am I reacting like this in this situation? I'm so happy that I have friends, like my closest circle, that we are always on the same journey of improving ourselves and self-development. Sometimes when something happens and I'm calling one of my besties and I'm like, you know what, I'm feeling this. Maybe someone said this to me and I'm so hurt and I'm so angry. My friends will ask me, but Linda, why does that bother you? What someone who doesn't know you said about you? Is it because part of you actually believes that, or part of you struggles with that? It's only that this person has now highlighted that need. And I'm just like, okay, let me think about it. Like, by the way, why does this person who doesn't know me, why do their comment has ruined my entire day? Like, why am I so defensive about it? Is it because part of me believes that whatever it is they've told me? For example, someone tells you, oh, you are shallow, and now I'm so enraged. I'm like, why? Is it because part of me feels like that is true? Or is it because part of me has always struggled with the feeling like I need to prove myself so people can know that I'm not shallow? And now this person just brought up those insecurities to the front. And then after knowing that, then we're on the journey of how can we correct this? Why am I feeling shallow? The part of me that believes this, why am I feeling shallow? And what can I do about it? So self-awareness is a journey. We have a few more topics to tackle, and I've realized that because I've been going in depth on the ones that I've tackled here, this video is already long. Let me cut it here so that tomorrow we continue with the rest of the questions, because we're doing Vlogmas, so I don't want to be doing 30-minute video every day. You will not be able to catch up. So watch up to here, and then tomorrow we'll have the part 2 of the girl talk. Love you.